Welcome back to the channel's focus. Today we are diving deep into IP Man 6. Yes, you heard right. The legendary Wayne Guns Master has returned from one last time cinema bought. And trust me, this entry is one of the boldest yet, packed with emotional depth, stunning martial arts choreography, and an unexpected global twist. IP Man punches the franchise into uncharted territory while paying tribute to its root. Let me break down. Let us break down it. Plots, performance, fighting scenes, themes, and why this time might be the IP Man's film that redefined legacy. Set in early 1970s, IP Man opens with an Manking Master IP living in quiet in Hong Kong after the traumatous event of previous film. His health is failing, his son is IP staying, thing is now grown up, and the martial art world has changed. Schools have become complex, fortress depleted, but peace does not last long. A threat emerged not within China this time, but from the United States, where a brutal underground MMA synaesthetic is used martial art as violent expertise. The organization has been recruiting fighters from across Asia and forcing into them the Sky State deathmatch for Western entertainment. When IBM chains closed, just found a rising Wing Ching participated. He is cruel to San Francisco and thus goes missing. A master IP must take the painful decision to travel west once more. But this time, he's not just fighting for honor, he's fighting for legacy, family, and survival. What stands out of most in IP Man 6 is the human of the side of IP Man Master IP. Donnie Yen returns with more creative than ever, portraying the IP Man who is no longer the unbeatable warrior, but man grappling with age, purpose, proposals, and morality. The film does not shy away from showing his vulnerability. We see him taking long recovery after fight, experience movement doubt, and reflecting on whether his teaching have made a lasting impact in the world that seems to reward brutality over discipline. Yet, the final constant is still here. The unshakable presence, the calm is in the face of chaos. This is Donnie Yen most mature portrait of the character, and he delivers performance that deeply moving and uncontemplating. Complaining. IP Man introduced several new characters that add richness to the story. IP Ching is a now disciplined yet confident martial artist trying to find path under the massive shadow of his father. His dynamic with IP Man is a central of the film, bending generation tense with heartfelt respect. Direct Detective Massive 10, a Vietnamese American police officer, becomes IP Man's unlike Ellie in San Francisco. She sharp pretend of kung fu at first, but grow to understand its philosophy through IP Man's action. Dude Kamaji, the film's archaeologist, is a ruthless farmer Maria who runs the underground fight circuit. Disdain for traditional martial arts is personal. He sees them as reckless, and his goal is to prove that the force will always win. He's easily one of the most terrifying villains in the franchise. Let us talk about action because let's face it and why we show up. That's why we show up. The fight choreography in IP Man 6 is once again orchestrated by the legendary young Wang Ping and it does not disappoint. But this time the approach is different. The battle are warrior more depressed. They are less engaged, more guilty, a reflection of the environment IP Man finds himself in. Some highlights including the Chainsaw Allen fight, IP Man take and on 6 gangsters using makeshift weapon, bro bombstick crate and his iconic chain punch. It is a martial class in imprisonment and spirited awakeness. IP Man versus the cage fighter. In the underground ring, IP Man face off against three massive opponents from different disciplines. Muay Thai, Brazil, Jiu-Jitsu, and Sambo. The choreography respects the strength of each style while showcasing Wing Chun's capability. IP Man vs Duke Kava. The final fight is brutal and emotional. It is not about speed or personal anymore. It is about willing power. IP Man bad and weekend uses every of his remaining strength in WoW. That feels more like a war than a fight. And yes, there is a moment of pure cinematic brilliance where his channels he changes his last wife memory for one last huge energy and at its core IP Man 6 is a story about the survival of values in the world obsessed with spectacular quick frame and violence as entertainment. IP Man stand out as a reminder that true martial art is about restraint, formalities and the inner peace. The film also takes less issues of exploration, culture spoiler, culture illusion. Several scenes show young Asia American being mocked for practicing traditional kung fu only to later realize its power not just physically but spirituality. One powerful support involves a group of second generation immigrants from forming a Wang Cheng society in Saga was Francisco, inspired by IP Man's quiet defense. It is a nod to how to live. It is not to how martial arts live through community, not just combat. Wilson Yappi returns to direct and gives us his most styled IP Man set. The lightning in San Francisco is dense in neon dress and harsh red, trusting with the warm tone of IP Man's early in Hong Kong. This visual contrast enhances the crash of world theme that predicted the film. The editing is tight, the pacing is deep, every quiet moment has weight, every exploration of violence feels launched, and the final shot, IP Man meditating on hills overlooking the Gold Gate Bridge, is hunting image that will give you with a long after the credit roll. IP Man 6 is not without spoiling too much. Longtime fans appreciate subtitle callback to previous return. A flashback to IP Man training Bruce Lee. A letter written by Wong Lin, IP Man's first discipline. A brief appearances by now middle-aged Bruce Lee acknowledging IP Man's impact is physiology. These moments never feel forced. These are original, respectful, and emotional restored. IP Man 6 is not just a martial art film, it's meditation on legacy, purpose, and human spirit. It is a gesture without being majestic, emotional without being no dramatic, and action packed without losing straight of its soul. Dong Yen's final performance as IP Man is nothing short of legacy. If this truly is the last installment, this fitting, powerful send-off for one of the cinema most iconic figure. Should you watch it? If you're a fan of martial art film, this is a necessary viewing. If you are following IP Man saga from beginning, IP Man will break your heart and feel it the same time at the same time. And even you are new to the franchise, the movie stands on its own as compelling story about courage, discipline, and legacy. IP Man proves that martial arts cinema are still has power to inspire. In a world increasingly forced on speed, spectacle, and violence, this film reminds us that true strength lies in stillness, and in discipline, and in knowing what to strike. IP Man, Master IP may gone, but this legacy on screen, in spirit, live on. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this review, hit the like button, subscribe for more fictional deep dive, and comment below. What could you like to see in future martial art movie? Until next time, stay strong, stay around, and keep your guard up.